this is your Sunday. Don't do anything that you don't want to do on your Sunday. Today, my Hobonichi came in the mail. I know it's September and it's just September, and so we still have a whole quarter before 2021, but as you all know, this year has been all the things, so I am excited to have something else to look forward to, and this in particular is something that I am super, super excited about, and I have been waiting for. I ordered on day one.
I ordered one notebook that was released on September 2nd and one that was released on September 1st, and I ordered both of them on September 2nd, so I guess technically I ordered day 2, but what he said. So,
here we go. We are going to open up this box, and I did order this straight from the Hobonichi Techo website in Japan. So this little box is coming to us from Japan. And it's very cute and bright yellow, and look, it's the 20th anniversary edition, so that's kind of exciting. I didn't know that they had been around quite that long. Super cute, kind of cut out here. Yay! Here we go. Okay, so let's see. Came with some extra goodies. Let's kind of get into it. I'll get this out of the way. All right, so first up here we have the Hobonichi Techo Planner 2021 in the B6 size, the little one. Starts in January, and I got the English version because the cousin only comes in Japanese, so I kind of wanted to see what the notebook looked like in English. I was really hoping that they would do the cousin in English this year, but they didn't, and that's cool. I'm not worried about it. So let's see. If you hear growling in the background, it is because my dogs are wrestling each other, because that's what they do for fun. So, it's so cute and perfect, and just like lays open flat. I'm so excited to get into this. Okay, let's start at the beginning. So, what you're holding in your hand is a Techo. I think it's a Techo. A Japanese daily planner. You'll find the Japanese characters for te and cho on the cover. A techo in Japan is used for more than scheduling an agenda. It is also used as a sketchbook and a diary, and for other things that together tend to chronicle its owner's daily life. Love that. Each day comes on a page that you can customize to fit your creative instincts and includes a distinctive quote that has been selected from the Hobonichi Techo Shinban. I do not speak Japanese, so I apologize if I said that incorrectly. Website, aka Hobonichi for short. Cute. Okay, and then of course they have their little usage guidebook, which I think is entirely... Nope, there is an English section, so very cute. One thing that I do not have right now is a B6 cover, so I wanted to kind of get my hands on the planner and see what I needed and what I wanted before getting into that, but this will be really fun to kind of parse through at another time and take a look at all of their different products, and I love looking at all of the little cartoons and how people use it and all of that sort of stuff. So I will also take the time to look at and play with this a little bit later. So of course it's the Tomro River paper. And it feels so good. I love the way this paper feels. Here is our very little and darling future log. I tend to use this for birthdays in the cousin, so I'm excited to see this. And then here is kind of like the, I guess you can use this a whole bunch of different ways. I really like the Lindsay Scribbles method of using this as an index for the other pages in the planner, but I know some folks actually use this to track their cycles or as a habit tracker for the year, which could also be really cool if you tend to stay really consistent with your habit trackers. And it looks like there are 4 months to a page, which is really nice because that breaks it up into quarters, although it starts, let's see. Oh, it starts with December, so just enough time to capture the end of 2020 and move into 2021. So to match that, they also have the monthly log starting in December as well, which is great. And then we move into January. So there's plenty of space over here on the side and on the bottom to take some notes, and they have the moon cycle in here. First thing that jumps out at me while I'm looking at the English version is that I don't notice the holidays that are in the Japanese version, which is fine. I typically cover those out anyways, but Sunday is still in red, and I like that. I kind of consider Sunday my sacred day to like spend time doing things for me, and so it's really nice to have like specific space that's highlighted as like, this is your Sunday. Don't do anything that you don't want to do on your Sunday. So that's really nice. If we continue, it does go just like the 2020. It has 3 months of monthlies for 2022, which is kind of crazy to even be thinking about. Has the turning the page to a new year. This is typically where I'll write like my annual goals and kind of break them up by topic. This is a really small space in comparison to the cousin, so I'm excited to see and think about how I want to use this in comparison. Okay, so interestingly, it then jumps right into the daily pages. So there's a coming up page with some lines. This is typically where I like to put, like in the cousin this year, I'll put like an art or quote for the month, and then my gratitude log. But this is much smaller, of course, and so its usage might be a little bit different. So the quote on this day 1 of January 2021 is, I think curiosity and imagination are what make our lives rich. The world is still overflowing with things we don't know. That's what a wonderful way to start a new year. So I think I'm going to really enjoy reading those quotes and seeing how to incorporate them into the journal. I also really like that it does say the week of the year, and it has that on the calendar pages as well. So that's really nice. I'm so excited to get into this. I think that I'm kind of planning on using the smaller B6 size for work maybe, or for an exercise log or something like very specific. I'll have to think about that and figure out how I want to do that, but I'm excited about that. So then I'll kind of fast forward here until the end. There are some spare dot grid pages in the back here. Red dot grid pages. There's a good chunk of them. And then here it's got some important contacts pages, sort of your typical back of the planner stuff. So some size conversion charts. That's interesting from a clothing perspective. Conversion tables, a little ruler, which is really nice. There's the My 100 spread, which I really liked in the cousin. I used it to sort of brain dump ideas about 30-day challenges or other things, books that I was reading, etc. And then it's got, this looks familiar. So this is in the back of the Japanese version of the 2020 cousin as well, except for it was all in Japanese. So I didn't know exactly what was going on. I just thought the drawings were very cute, but it looks like it's different breads, different Japanese breads. Cool. Okay, and then it's got that personal notes section and, of course, the unique Hobonichi Techo number. So that is that one. Very cute and exciting. Let's jump into the cousin. I think it's going to be extremely similar, except for the fact that it will also have weeks as well. So let's get into this one. Okay, and then of course it has the same cute little booklet that the little guy had, and then a sort of pale cover. Oh, feels so good to be able to hold this, and I'm just so excited for getting into this guy. So again, here we have our future log for 2021, as well as the 2020 and 2022 spreads, which is really nice from a future planning perspective. And then of course you've got the much larger 6 months to a spread page that I use as an index with the boxes on the bottom, which I really like to do a photo of the month and then like a word of the month up top to kind of help capture what that month, like the resounding theme of that month was. So I can do a video if you'd like on how I do that in my current planner. Okay, and then we get, this is kind of what I was expecting. So in comparison to the B6 size monthly, the difference here you can see, so I definitely noticed the lack of Japanese characters, which makes sense, it's the English version, and the font seems to be a little bit different, which, you know, is probably a small thing, but then there's also characters along, I bet those are numbers, so that's interesting. And then weeks are along here. Okay, so it looks like it's really just missing the Japanese, which is why you get the English version. Cool. So this paper is just chef's kiss. If you have never written on or used Tomrow River paper, you need to give it a try, especially if you are a fountain pen human. There's nothing quite like it. It certainly ghosts and bleeds for a lot of your more like artsy stuff, but also this paper holds up really well to gouache and watercolor, especially when you use a dashboard, a noteboard, what are they called? Mine's in my planner, so I'll show you again another time, but feels so good. Okay, so then this is where the cousin really kind of steps away from the Techo in that it's got a weekly spread. And I really struggled with how to use that this year in 2020 because most of my work is planned digitally within the like ecosystem of work stuff. So I didn't use this as frequently as I could have or really at all. And there would be weeks that I'd try and then just like it would take more time to fill this in than it would to actually use it. So I don't know how that's going to look in 2021. If you have ideas on how to use this sort of weekly layout, I really like that it's vertical. So so ideas on how to use this. I'm thinking more like workout maybe, or something like that, because that's something that I really need to bring back into my life. So maybe using the weekly space as a health planner. So we'll see. So then we'll kind of wrap up the weeklies section and get to our turning to a new year spread. This is much better for me in terms of year goals and plenty of space to break this up into small sections. So again, I'll show you my 2020 cousin, but I have like marriage and family and health and volunteer and work and all sorts of different aspects and creative goals and education goals and learning goals, so kind of broken up. And then I also use this page to plan out what, in order to achieve those goals for the year, what it would look like to, like what I would need to do in January, February, March, and April to meet a goal that I want to meet in May. So I really like this size and this space. And then we get into the beautiful daily pages. So this looks very familiar in that you've got your whole blank spread with a little Japanese quote, and I don't know what it says, but I'm sure it is darling. It might be interesting to take the quotes that are here in the English version of the Techo and write them in the corresponding page of the cousin, just to kind of have the same quote every day in both of these little planners. I love that the cousin's daily pages have a check box, you know, like a list of 5 check boxes at the top. I'm noticing that the Techo normal size does not, and that's totally cool. What I have become a really big fan of in 2020 is following the like swallow the frog or eat the frog method, which my husband makes a lot of fun of me for because he says that that's not a thing, but it is a thing. There's a business book about swallowing and or eating the frog, meaning the biggest thing that's like weighing on you and you don't want to do, that's what you start your day with. So when I have frogs, I write them here. I literally have frog stickers that I write next to them, and that is the first thing that I do when I am starting my day and have to deal with a frog. So all of this looks so great, super exciting. And then the other piece here, I'll have to look, it looks like they've brightened up the colors maybe in their monthly, like each month is assigned a different color. and they might have brightened them, or I'm just remembering wrong. I'll have to double check on my 2020 cousin. And then we'll get kind of back to the end here and wrap up the review or the unboxing. Although there are a couple of other fun little gifts in here I wasn't expecting. So take a look at that. Of course, there's some spare graph paper pages in the back here. I have not really used these in my current planner, but it's nice to know that there's some spare space in the back where you had specific classes at different times or different consistent events every week. So that's interesting. Favorites, I like this. I like to write down each one of these represents a month. So this would be January books, February books, March books. And while I'm a big fan of Goodreads, it's also nice to kind of just look and see like, okay, I read 5 books in January, and on average I thought that the books I read in January were 3 out of 5 stars, or I read 3 books in March and I thought they were all superb, so my average is 4.5 stars. So I can kind of look at how much I'm enjoying what I'm reading throughout the year at a glance, which is really nice. Here's my list of 100 in the single page spread view. I like this a lot. I'm very comfortable with this size notebook, so I know this is gonna just continue to be my favorite. And like I said, I'm excited to get into and kind of plan out how I'd like to use the Techo, but for sure the cousin is gonna be my go-to. I know a lot of folks like the Avec version of the cousin, so it's half the year. It stops, in June, at the end of June. So it would be like this, and of course your monthly pages for this are back here. I like having the year all in one book though, because I've never been able to really achieve that in a bullet journal. I typically take 3 months to a bullet journal. So the idea of having everything in one was really attractive to me, which is why I went with the Hobonichi last year to give that a try. So super excited about those two. And then it looks like each came with a pen. So there's 2, because I got 2 notebooks. So let's just open up one of each and kind of see how they write. So this is a Fude pen, Fude handwrite Hobonichi Techo. So if it's similar to the Fudenosuke brush pen, then I think it's a brush pen. So let me just, here, we'll just use, this is just a normal, pen. Oh, wow. Okay. So it is very similar to the soft brush Tambo Fudenosuke brush pen. I use the hard tip brush because that's my preference, but this is definitely soft, which means, anyways, it means it's really good for beginners, although I can tell you right now that the ink doesn't flow quite the way I would expect, or I expect out of my Tambo Fudenosuke brush pens. So let's take a look at this one. This is the second pen that came with it, and it looks like it's just a multi-color click pen, which means it would have ballpoint ink. It does say Hobonichi Techo 2021 with the Hobonichi logo and the 20th anniversary. And it is a uni pen, which is great. Uni makes really, really great pens. I like them a lot. It's kind of cute that they partnered. And it looks like it's got red, black, and blue ink as well as a clip. So let's just give this a try. I actually like this. I'm not surprised. I really like uni, but this is easily the smoothest multi-pen that I've ever used. I have quite a few that I used to use in college, and they all, it's also a lot quieter than I would expect, which is nice. It flows so smoothly. I'm sort of thrown off by this. Very distracted from my pen. Okay, I'll have to play with that, but that's exciting. Okay, so that is pretty much it. I just wanted to show you my unboxing of these 2 notebooks. I am so excited for 2021. 2020 has been kind of nuts, but getting into a new notebook and a new year will be really good for everyone, I think. So I am going to start brainstorming how I want to transition into these and how I want to use my B6. There's a couple of different ideas I have. I think I mentioned them, but I love the little keys on the front. So darling. Thank you so much for spending some time with me today. I've had so much fun opening these up and playing with the extra little goodies that came. I am so looking forward to planning 2021. See ya. Stand by. Bears, would you stop wrestling, please? That's enough. That's enough. Maybe just ballpoint. I'm sort of embarrassed. Normally I can tell by the smell.